Morning, guys. So after a month of using all my planners in at once and seeing what I ended up with at the end of the year going into 2015, I ended up with bound planners, and that was quite a surprise to me. I'd never used a bound planner before. I'd wanted to use a Hobonichi probably for 2 years, but it isn't anything I thought would really work. And in the end, it really did, because, and I think the main reasons for me was, when you're done with it, it's an archive. I don't have to do anything. I just have a complete archive of a period of time. And the other thing I was worried about was appointments. I was afraid I was going to miss appointments. But I used the Hobonichi really since April of last year. And when I had an appointment like 2 months down the road, I wrote it on that page. And I really never missed an appointment, which was interesting. It really hasn't. It really hadn't happened before, because my ring planners never quite had all the months and all the weeks in at one time. And so there was always something I had to write in at a later date when I added a page. And that was a little bit of an issue. With this, all my pages were already there, and I liked it much better than I thought I would. I mean, I thought I would enjoy the experience. I thought I would enjoy the time I used it. I thought I would like the pages. I thought there were a lot of good things about it. I really never thought I would be buying another one for 2015. And I ended up liking it enough to really do that. And the other thing is my Midori. That is what I'm going to go into 2015 with. A Hobonichi and a Midori, both essentially, bound planners, although these are a little bit more flexible. I want to split this video up, though, because it's going to be too long. The first thing I want to do is talk about the essential insert from Bound Cushion. It's really nice. It's leather. It's beautiful. It smells amazing. I mean, it's the most leathery smelling thing that I've smelled since I was a kid and walked into a really good shoe store. I mean, it was amazing. I believe it's like an uncoated, unfinished leather. They said that they condition it with a cedar oil leather conditioner, and you might smell that, but it does dissipate. I didn't smell that. I don't like cedar. I mean, I would definitely know if it smelled like that, and mine did not. Now, the one that I got is $65. There is another one that has dedicated more, this is more of an open kind of thing, with slots for the cards. This isn't my preference, really. The other one has dedicated card slots, and they're sewn. And I like the way that looks. It looks more finished to me. It looks more polished. But that particular one doesn't have a full-length pocket back here. So I think had that one had a series of pockets like this, plus the full-length pocket in the back, I would have gotten that one. But what I really needed was, this back pocket. It's very similar in form to the Midori zipper, their zipper insert, and it goes in the same way. It goes in under elastic. This is a beautiful brass zipper. with room for whatever. If you want to use this as a wallet, you can. If you just want to, you know, put in planner stuff or pens or whatever, you can do that. And this side you saw. So it's really a similar kind of design if you're familiar with the regular Hobonichi zip. Now, I mean, it's got, you know, the typical imperfections that you see in natural leather. It's beautiful. I mean, people asked me about how I thought it would patina and you know, stains and things, and I think it's probably going to be similar to the way a Midori Traveler's Notebook patinas, because it's really sort of an unfinished, I don't know, I mean, there's very technical terms for what they are. I'm not sure, I don't think unfinished would be the term, but it feels to me to be unprocessed leather, and possibly the only thing that was used on it was the cedar oil leather conditioner. It is a beautiful, you're not going to be able to see a good color here because I'm in, you know, I'm under house light, so everything's a little bit yellower, but this is pretty close, I think. It's a real beautiful buff colored leather. I mean, it's gorgeous. I mean, it's really gorgeous. Now, people asked me about whether it was bulky. I'm not going for as many notebooks as I can this year. I spent a lot of time, you know, maxing out. No matter what size rings I had, I maxed them out. No matter how many notebooks I would stick in something, it wasn't enough. And, you know, I don't really think I need to do that anymore. It just makes for a very heavy carry and, you know, sort of awkward and bulky. So at the moment, all I have in here just to show you is the Essential and one monthly calendar from DIY Fish, and I want to use up any Midori inserts that I have. So what I have is the undated week. It's basically a week on a page with notes, and I have to say this is working out much better than I thought it would, because how I've been using it is there's a lot of repetition in the way I plan, but instead of writing my to-dos on here, I write my to-dos on this side, and as I'm doing them, I transfer them over to the other side. And, you know, for somebody who used an A5 page a day, that's working is amazing to me, but it actually is working to me. When I'm done with this insert, I probably will I'll either buy a whole, the DIY Fish inserts, or I will buy another one of these. It depends. I like them. I will definitely buy some of these inserts because I really just love this monthly page I do. So the only thing in there is that, if you know how thick that is, a little pocket for receipts that I want, not receipts, for coupons, and the Essential. And I would say when it's closed, the Essential takes up about as much space as a notebook. So, you know, if you normally keep 3 notebooks, maybe you can keep 2. If you normally keep 4, maybe you could keep 3. But if that gives you some idea. Now I do have another. I do have other notebooks that I'm going to use in here. This is the blank with a lot of pages. This is one that I actually made myself out of just some random grid paper and covered it. And this is the Midori grid notebook, which is the one that is normally in here for extra pages, but I took it out because it doesn't really add anything to the review. So this is going into 2015. This is totally working for me. A lot of people ask me about the decal. I put this decal on a couple of years ago, never thinking it would last, and it really did last. It's by the brand is Mini Marks. Unfortunately, they don't make these anymore, but I have seen them on eBay and Etsy. So, I'm not saying I would recommend it, because I expect that it's going to come off at some point and come off unevenly, but I always liked the way it looked, and people always ask me what that is. And the other thing is, in my last video, I talked about, I restrung the Midori, and I used, rectangular tile-shaped beads with the holes that run this way, and I actually used elastic beading cord instead of the colored wrap. This is like a clear elastic. They do have colors actually, and I think there's a 1mm one that probably is a little bit thicker than this that I think would work. I just didn't think it would go through the beads. So that's that. This is terrific. Worth every penny that I paid. Really happy that I got it, and I expect to use it for many years to come. And I will be back with a video about the rest of this stuff. So thank you guys. Thanks for watching. I hope I answered everybody's questions about the essential, and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, I'm back with the Hobonichi part of 2015. I had bought this used from Rebecca. It actually didn't have much, there wasn't much used about it. She had written a couple things in pencil, basically. In April, this is the cousin, so it's the A5 Spring Hobonichi, and I was going to try to use it without a cover. I used it without a cover on and off, but just for the end of the year, I stuck the cover back on, and the cover on cover, and this is, you know, sort of the flyer that comes in with the Hobonichi order, and I just sort of folded it like a book cover, and I like it. I mean, I like the cover on cover for a lot of reasons. I like that I can put other things underneath, postcards and stuff like that, pictures. I really like that a lot, and I also like that it's, you know, it's plastic. It's essentially its own dashboard, you know, so I can keep my you know, whatever tabs and flags I'm using can just stick to the front, and that's really nice. Now, the problem that I had, because I actually have a couple more months to go with this. See, this ends in March, but I stuck so much stuff in here. I mean, there are a lot of pages with things stuck to it. I mean, it's more than just the bulk of washi. It's the bulk of cards, and that it's really, I mean, it's appealing to me. You know, this is just appealing to me visually and aesthetically, and I just think it's so cool, and I love flipping through it. But I'm at a point that it is extremely difficult to write on, you know, the bulky side. And so I tend not to. It's just difficult. I mean, it really, really is. So my original plan was to buy another spring version. The problem with that is I would have had to use this for another few months, another 3 months, which I think, you know, if all I wanted to do with it was just stick stuff in it, I mean, that would have been fine. But this, you know, this was my planner. I mean, this had my lists, my to-dos, and I just stuck way too much crap in here, and for it to be a planner. You know, if what I wanted was, you know, a memory book or a scrapbook, honestly, that's just fine. But for planning at this point, it's hard. So I decided to, instead of buying the next spring version, I would buy the one that starts in January. And the other thing that I did, I'm not 100% sure you're going to be able to tell, but I have some eye problems, and some of the colors are difficult for me. You see them more accurately on video. In person, it's not quite as contrasty as it looks here. And so when I'm you know, using my planner, I actually have to sit under a light pretty much. I mean, I really have to be sitting next to a light. I can't just grab it where I am. And so I find you know, these black pages easier to read than I do, you know, some of these monthly. I mean, if you don't have a problem with your eyes, you know, obviously it's not going to be an issue. But you know, some of these are just not high enough contrast for me. So what I decided to do was buy the English version, because the English version is black and white and red on Sundays, but it's black and white. The grid pattern is also slightly bigger. I mean, just, you know, slightly bigger, but you know, anything, you know, really helps. And the other thing that I did was I decided to buy the A6. It is considerably, you know, smaller, obviously. I mean, about the size of this page, and that's with a cover. But it's just, frankly, easier. I mean, I don't know if you can see this or not. I actually think you can. I mean, you know, you can see how much easier. I'm probably not going to get a good. I mean, I think you can just see the grid better. I mean, I really do. I don't think it's the size as much as the color, but this helps me a lot. And I got the small size in an attempt to rein in, you know, all the crap I added. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I could not add in here. And I'm going to try to stick with drawing pictures instead of actually putting in a lot of memorabilia, because I would like to use it for a year. I bought the zipper blue chambray, I think it was called fog linen cover, and it fit the Hobonichi itself, but I also bought the weekly pages, the address book, and these two things, which was one was a photo and one was a card case. And with the things I already had, adding absolutely nothing, I couldn't zip it. So I had something I had bought a while ago. I thought I could use this for the A5, and I was off on my measuring by a lot. It's something by Vera Bradley. They don't make it anymore. Very readily available on eBay, and it's perfect. It works fine. It's bigger than the Hobonichi. If I have a picture, I'll insert it. I know I posted it on Facebook. It's narrower, slightly narrower than the zipper case was, and slightly taller, but you know, dimensionally it's very close. And it also has one of these ribbon bookmarks. But I think this is going to work good for me. If not, you know, certainly I could buy another cover from the Hobonichi site, but I would like to really use this. I mean, I like it. I like it. And, you know, being fabric, it's just flexible and durable and matches a tote I have. So, that is my plan for 2015. I'm going to retire this one, even though there's pages left, because it's impossible. I mean, it's really impossible to use. It's like, you know, I learned my lesson about just adding in everything I felt like adding. I mean, this is like a cautionary whale here. Just enormous. And like I said in the video I just did, this is really just sort of a two-part thing on what's going on. I'm not trying to make my planners as big as possible. I'm actually trying to keep them much more reasonable this year. This was fun, but I don't need to do that, and it's too cumbersome to do anything with now, and I can't even use it for the whole year. I considered getting the Avec, but those are in Japanese, and what I really wanted was pages that I could see better. So I'm hopeful that these two things are what I'm going to use. They are, you know, relatively compact, and you know, certainly much more compact than what I was using last year. I've done flip-throughs of this throughout the year. Considering doing a flip-through of the whole book, which I don't think I've ever done. Just let me know if there's any interest in something like that. I mean, it would take a long time, and I don't know whether it's something people want to see, but I'm considering that if there's any interest, doing a flip through of the entire Hobonichi from last year. So that's my plan. I never thought that I would be moving into the new year without a ring binder, but that is what's happening. And so thank you guys. Thank you for following my experiment and my channel, and you know, all the things I do. Thank you for another year and this really nice community of, you know, paper and planners and things like that. And I'm looking forward to all of the 2015 videos that come out where people talk about what they're doing. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this last year of my videos and this one.